perfect. It was a couple of seconds shy. NIP Vitality, folks. I'm worried for Shoxy. He's been having his few woes as of late into the server, and he's got a tough opposition here. It was a full 3-map barn burner versus FaZe Clan, and they kept them in the upper bracket. NIP knocked to the lowers, now on elimination's door, and Vitality the ones that come knocking.
Well, here we go then. Vitality on their map pick. We'll be starting the T side here. We do have a P250 in the hands of Shox. Starting to see him get some of his old roles back. Secondary AWP, a little bit more active than you'd expect, and I was a bit worried for that prospect going into this team, but we'll see how he plays today. Forces to Kevlar around him. He's got the smoke and flash as well. Bombs down towards the B apartments for the meanwhile. We'll see whether Twist and his smoke will be able to fend them off here. Just jumping up, getting some information.
Interesting tidbit we got from the interview today is that no threat. No threat actively in the server.
It's not the first time either during the RTR that they've operated without threat as well. There was a game earlier on in the tournament where I believe they had one of the individuals who has more of a managerial role slotted in there and take the coach slot. And with this team being quite young, I think that that's a really good position for them to be in. Right, the fact that they're not...
Do it on your own, do it with some help, do it on your own.
It's great to have there, but this is great for them to learn on their own as well. Will be the B hit here, 45 seconds remaining.
Threat's been waiting for this whole time. That smoke he plans to deploy will separate them and stop those fights coming so easy. Lots of fights coming in now, though, and the first does go the way of RPK. Not quick to equalize. They charge in, lots of targets, and a bomb down thanks to Masuta.
It's looking pretty good for Vitality, but they're not looking towards the kitchen at all. Lekro helps himself to a freebie there, but RPK did manage to pick up a frag initially. It's looking like this is a confirmed round for Vitality. 2 versus 1. Lekro up against Zywoo and Shox, and you'll see the former take him down, no problem whatsoever. A big contact play that works out due to the opening kill of that PT50 from Shox, so it all works out there, and we'll see whether NIP wants to buy in the second.
If that pistol round's anything to go off, that's not the pace I was expecting from Vitality by any means. Waiting to 45 seconds before executing onto a bomb site is not the type of Counter-Strike I've attributed to them since Apex has taken over as the in-game leader. It's normally much quicker, very pacey, exploiting gaps and then snowballing their opponents. So I'm curious if that continues. I'm curious to see what NIP can do with this force buy. Lots of smokes, a scout, and a couple of deagles in play. Lekro is a bit of a Mirage specialist when the chips are down.
Yeah, well, Twist, apparently, he's not bad either. There's a couple of kills with these Desert Eagles, make it 3 in total.
Jesus.
Apex answering back, but he's being tagged up and back and forth we go. As Knockplayer will be picking up the round. Both of them incredibly low on the T side here as Lekro will pick another one off. Just left the Shox. Known for his clutch potential, but only has 12 points of health here. And very fast round here, Chad. You were praising them for their slow pace in the previous, and they've absolutely swung for the fences here in round number 2.
I'm not sure what they were hoping out of Palace there. A bit of a waterfall approach, something we see more on save rounds or I guess force buy rounds as opposed to the anti-eco. And now this is Shox's question. Does he try and win or does he just save the AK?
He won't win it if he goes for it, in my opinion. If it comes down to the 1 versus 1, he just won't have the confidence of 12 HP to pull it off. Let alone get this bomb planted, find the kills, and he's got plenty of time, of course, considering they completely committed in the first 10 seconds of the round. But now going for the around-the-world approach, but the amount of time it's taking them, they're going to be aware this is a possibility. They're currently sat towards jungle and connector, looking towards short and underpass and top of middle. So they are pretty safe. Lekro needs to be careful here.
I mean, if he does it, it looks genius.
It's such a risk, though, going through this. We call it the murder hole for a reason.
He's going to get the frag. Does he go for it straight away?
Oh, he's actually pulled this off.
Not quite. Plopsky now knows where his opponent is. He's tucked into the off angle, and he just has to pull the trigger. Clean deagle headshot. Only needed the 1 bullet anywhere, but he makes it stylish as well.
Good effort from Shox there. Nice moving towards B. Actually was completely undetected there. Lekro had no idea. I was hoping the second CT would be on the steps there. He could spot him, then go for both in a couple of clicks, but not meant to be. It was nice positioning from NIP, and the 1 versus 1 lands in their favor. Great deagle shots has led them to M4s and AK-47s here. Plenty to work with, and just a single AK for Zywoo, who will be joining his teammates in the full investment here. You can see the rest of them with deagle armor, a single AK, and we'll see whether he can live up to his star potential.
Wow, that advantage from Vitality just gets ripped from them so quickly on that A-take. Lekro's scout hitting 2 phenomenal shots. The tag onto Shox as well that led to his 12 HP attempt with the clutch. Naught pushing middle here on the flash, and he'll be calling it clear. Spots Apex on the repeat. And just returning to the site, returning to the norm. It is only ZywOo the real threat here, so do keep that in mind as this round progresses. For ZywOo is their only real avenue, and he's going to play ahead of this smoke. This will give him a lovely advantage, or perhaps even just bide his time within it, hoping as it fades, a negligent CT can fall.
So setting up towards B, just a single flashbang is all they can really bring to the table. 3 of them ready. You can see Shox at the bomb. Saddam ready to go. He'll deploy that as soon as they get the contact. So now being spotted. ZywOo waiting for his opportunity to strike, and unfortunately, Nork beats him to the punch. M4 will be coming out on top. Couple of kills, AK down, and it looks like we are having no problem here for NIP whatsoever until Apex arrives. He does give them an entrance, so does Shox here. 3 versus 2, they have got armor available as well. The bomb should be planted.
Okay, maybe there's some legs to this round after all. A combination of players, iconic, but already now just down to Shox. 3 players closing in on his position. He's opted for bench. There's a timer on this. If they push through apps, he knows he's going to be vulnerable to it. He's hoping this push comes in, and we're just in time, down to 29. 2 more damage onto Twists. There was even a nade perfectly placed onto his corpse. And that's a perfect retake. NIP will secure the second and recover 2 AKs.
Yes, that's 1,900 plus the 800 on the board here for Vitality with the bomb plant. Could it be enough for them to go for a set piece force buy?
They've got to have, what, like $2,700 to $3,200 per player. We'll see whether they want to get something together there. But it's certainly the option to get the Tech 9s out. Whether they can have much behind it, I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe not. The Desert Eagles have taken them down to, what, like 2,000?
Yeah, Shox could go like an AK head armor, and then they could do nades around it. But if they want to settle into a game plan, they need to take a save here. Just stabilize their economy, make sure they can get the ore power, all the guns and that utility that they need going forward. So right here is we have, well, what seems to be the better part of a full eco. Plopsky getting aggressive, and this is the time where we check in with Rush. Rush.
Hello.
Oh, what do you make of that one?
That was a nice shot by RPK. I make that. That's what I make of that.
Let's see if we can do both on the eco, Rush. Give us the commentary and the.
The punch towards mid, gonna get absolutely destroyed here. Twist now, followed up with another. Gets another one. Oh my lord! M1 left alive. RPK left alone. MP9 in hand. It's not gonna work out, and they take the round. The side of ninjas and pajamas.
That's the kind of inspiration I needed. Yeah.
I'm fired up now. I'm fired up. Rush, I want you to be toggling daddy mode on and off without telling us. All right.
Okay.
Whenever you feel it, we're gonna leave you as the custodian.
Maybe we'll do it this round. Maybe we will.
That's a lot of responsibility.
He can handle it.
But it's like, it is daddy mode because it's like casting in heroic difficulty.
Well, it's Mirage. I'm pretty sure we can. This is a pretty flat map.
Yeah.
We're not worried about multiple
Z-axis,
layers.
really.
There's no nuke and vertigo issues to worry about.
Okay, you're onto something. And so, Twist casting his AWP towards middle. A warning shot as the smoke does bloom. Apex has already got himself across. Usual mid posturing.
So they do have the full buy for Vitality here with the AWP of ZywOo. Got the utility they need as well, and it's a much slower pace round here. For the default with C2 players towards underpass, could be RPK, joined by Masuta, a player that hasn't really shown us his true potential as of yet. The French guys seem to sing his praises every interview. I'm yet to notice it, but happy to be proven wrong.
NIP are not giving them anything in middle.
And they've sacked 4A. This could be horrible for Vitality.
Oh, Incendiary just to get 4 players in there as well.
Oh, he's burning.
Oh, he really is. That's a nightmare. Poor Masuta.
Oh, what a nasty way to go down.
Just having to go. And ZywOo does put one back here. They're back into the round. It's glass cannon for ZywOo. Apex will lead the charge here. Remember, there's 4 players in toward the bomb site, and they are being picked off like flies here.
Oh, he's so in trouble. Twist under a lot of pressure. He'll get sprayed through and hunted down, all onto Plopsky. He's had a fantastic tournament. On his birthday, he's been dealt a 1 versus 4. Unlikely he's going to have much more to say than the first. He does take Apex down before he could do any more damage, but the double kill into the site was spectacular. Looks sufficient enough.
It was looking so good for an IP there. That Incendiary to force out the first kill. A freebie. You'd think they would convert that with 4 players on the site itself, but Apex manages to crack things open off for a ZywOo AWP pick.
Yeah, that pick from ZywOo was only facilitated because they tried to extinguish that Molotov and it created a one-way smoke in the connector. So that right there, that's not something that Vitality were planning or trying to do, but that's the cards that they were dealt and able to walk away with the second round on the board here. A big one as well, because take a look at the NIP money. The financial situation over there, it's not fantastic by any means. Plopski's the only one who's going to have a rifle. They might have to take a save of their own this time round. Taking the timeout, no threat here to talk this one through. It's going to be curious to see how the hierarchy works within the squad. Who's going to step up as the second in charge?
Well, we all heard that clip that was posted after EPL. And
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hearing his comms, he's very hands-on and making sure that he's looking over things and just spotting out any small mistakes the young team are going to make. And they won't have that crutch, as it were, going into this game. So there might be some sloppier play. They might not be as disciplined, but that could actually work out in their favor. They're great aimers. They are very confident players. So you never know. It actually could be a nice string to their bow rather than being a hindrance at times, but certainly are going to be as disciplined in my opinion. But we'll see. As Vitality still ran away. I say that. It was a full gun round. Remember, they had a ZywOo glass cannon there. They lost the first pick. Really wasn't looking good as they walked into the stack, but they managed to make it work. In terms of the money here for NIP, they are fully invested too. It's a FAMAS for North and Twist. Lekro on his trusty Deagle, very good with that weapon, and a couple of rifles here for Plopski and Rez. First shot will come in, and he's going to go down surely, but he does take one with him.
Yeah, it takes down ZywOo, and Apex working on 5 HP for the rest of the round. That's not too shabby. With a FAMAS, no
really
less.
Not. So what's the go-to from Vitality? I think a B plays is coming on straight away here. Sending all 4 players towards the apartments. Silent boost for Nork to get in position. Here you can see this jumping up, trying to take the aggro for his team. And now they're going to run past. This is big from Nork.
Oh, he's waiting for the bomb. He could get all 3 here. Oh, and he does find the first 2, the third as well. Shutting them all down. That trigger discipline, that's something we talked about Vitality having. Experience. Well, Nork, he's playing ahead of his years.
That was all by design as well. We saw the silent boost come in just as the smoke was going down. They could feel a B approach coming in, and you could see Plopski beneath him just jumping up. Even though he had the AK-47, more firepower, he knew how powerful that position could be there. Perfectly played by Nork, very calm, and you never take down the planting player. I think that's safe to say, Chad. You always want to take down the danger first, knowing that he'll be out of contact for 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, if you're getting into that kind of a scenario right there, it's very tempting just to pull it as soon as you see one player guaranteeing a kill, but they've set themselves up now with a great foundation. As long as they don't drop this round here, NIP should be going up to 5. The economy now starting to swing in a very positive favor for them after surviving that 4-spy situation. And right now, well, just milk them up, get that FAMAS, make it sing.
Yeah, you're dead on, though. This is a bit of a must-win for NIP. If they win this, they're really onto something. There is a chance with the Deagles out. Players a little bit more aggressive than usual. That was a swing that had a bit of legs to it. We'll see ZywOo spot the barrel of the M4 there. That's going to be in the hands of Rez. He's in connector.
Yeah, in a different universe, Nork doesn't think better of that push.
And that's maybe where Threat would come in and say, you're by yourself at this stage. Everyone has pulled back.
That's ZywOo. He can easily open up a round. He says it. He does it. Perfect. It could be the M4 as well. There's still a smoke bloomed. Rez has actually enabled the retrieval of the firepower for ZywOo. You mentioned just how important this one was. A lot of very valuable information being conveyed here by Plopski, especially if he continues to push. He may even hear them. Not quite.
A bit far away.
Yeah, but this is enough. Once he gets round and it's still dead silent, his teammates on A are going to be ready to dig their heels in. It's Lekro and Nork for now. They're hanging out towards CT.
Well, here comes the flank from Plopski as well and T-Spawn. So still looking very good for an NIP situation, even though it's 3 versus 3. 20 seconds remaining, and of course he hits that shot.
How?
They're back into this. That's going to be 2 kills as ZywOo. They have the man advantage with the plant. That'll be denied.
Chill now. Don't have to do anything else. 13 seconds. The sound cue you need hasn't come in yet. ZywOo will provide it again. 9 seconds and Masuta's hit the Deeg. Bomb can be planted now. Plopski's been dealt into the clutch, and he can find perhaps the second as well. ZywOo's so low. Plopski's running out of bullets, and ZywOo saves the day. An unarmored Deagle and a clutch. The M4, it connects. It's like a laser beam.
That's so wild. ZywOo with no armor. The Desert Eagle finishes on 2 HP. Of course, he makes it work, and we did just say this is the round. NIP should win it. If they do, they're really onto something here, but stolen away, a 1 versus 1. The perfect flank is shut down, bomb planted, and the round on the board for Vitality, 4-3, and it will be a tactical timeout for the French. Just going to be calculating themselves, working out how they can convert the round going forward and just working out the money up the CT side as well. And let me tell you, it's not looking too good. All hovering around $3,000. They've got a loss bonus of $1,900 coming in next round. So it's a real mess over there. Lecro's 1,400, Chad. I'm not sure what they do with this.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot. I think 2 partial investments in back-to-back rounds, but that will concede Team Vitality potentially 5 rounds unless they can steal one of their own away. Nork doesn't even have a pistol in his hands right now, so maybe... There he goes, just come back for the USP. They will be taking the save here, and it'll be the full save. We don't see any armor invested, no flashes, not even a P250 to write home about. This one should definitely be a Vitality round. It would have to be something absolutely bonkers for them to lose this.
Yeah, you'd need at least a flashbang to start believing this mid-swing, which is very standard in these sort of rounds, if it's got any legs to it whatsoever. Sometimes it can. It has to be a very good flashbang with 3 Ts committed. All comes down to the timing, but I agree with Chad. I don't think there'll be much to talk about here.
Well, let's operate that this round is over, and that's a great shot to start it. Anything going on in your guys' lives?
More of this, really, just Counter-Strike and sleeping. And
we've been distancing ourselves from one another recently. We've been taking some time to ourselves.
Yeah, I took some time off gaming.
Yeah, that's been good for me as well.
That has helped out a lot. What I've been trying to do in the meanwhile? Lots of just relaxing.
Lots of relaxing, chilling out.
Just knowing that I've got 3 days left of this.
Sure.
Just trying to keep positive, keep a good vibe going.
I'm very excited to kind of have that question of what am I doing today, as opposed to knowing I just have to load up HLTV and find out what I'm doing today.
I'm probably still just going to watch the DreamHack event, but at least I know that. Well, you never know. Anything's possible, guys. Anything is possible in 2020. Ooh. It could change at any moment, but not this round. The bomb's down, everybody's almost dead. Nork will get finished off. It's 4-4. Now, this is where the problem that we were talking about comes in. NIP's money wasn't good enough to buy last round, but with the loss bonus, it's not great to buy this round. Lecro happy to make the omission and go with an MP9. So NIP's money, it hasn't stabilized at all. It's still on edge. This isn't where you want it to be on the CT side by any means.
Yeah, losing to the eco, essentially the deco.
Yeah,
that's going to
Yeah.
screw you. That is going to screw your CT economy, especially if they're getting bombs down in the same round. I mean, it's a nasty world out there.
Oh.
Great catch from Zywoo, tracing him nicely, and already an opening frag. Twist will claw one back. And with Rez falling, their chances starting to dwindle. Plopsky has to go big here on the defense.
Oh, he's past him.
Everyone's
blind.
And there it is. The kill will come in. Apex. He'll get a freebie, but there's going to be Plopsky to try and pull the round back in NRP's favor here. They'll have the open spawn. And Vitality put the brakes on just for now. Masuta, great shot in CT spawn. And now Twist. Going to be a very quick and snappy AWP user. Swing out, and Zywoo's just on something else today. He's in the zone right now. That's really not where you want him to be.
Yeah, no helmet. Twist felt that. That M4 really hurts. And now looking for his second. Plopsky was not prepared, and so Masuta finding the double and Vitality converting the 5th. They put all their chips on the table for that one. They're going to have to swallow a rather bitter pill again into round 10.
I know that was a risky maneuver for Vitality to just go for like a pop straight up the ramp and open up for a kill, but you can see what those pace changes look like. NIP were not ready to handle that type of a fight.
It's a scrappy call, but it catches them off guard.
And that's why that type of Counter-Strike, we have lost a lot of it. We don't see teams go for that style of play as much anymore. I'm kind of glad to see Vitality bringing it back, but when we were watching them earlier in the piece, earlier in this tournament on maps like Nuke, they just looked lost, right? It didn't look like it was making sense.
I think the first couple of weeks of Apex being in charge.
And Masuta.
Yeah, right. So we definitely had to give it a bit more time, but definitely it looked like it was very messy and sure, a similar start to what we're seeing now, but certainly not as successful. They were looking very lost. Certainly anything in this round, as we'll see, Zywoo open things up. That's Plopsky, one of the danger men of NIP. He's been removed. Birthday boy put to bed. And we'll see Masuta just confirming that the connector is at least clear. Receiving a bit of damage, but should be fine to survive. Just the USB on the other side here. We'll see Apex just lead the boys up towards shore now.
Yeah,
to go for a B split.
Pretty much how most of my birthday parties finish as well.
In tears.
Birthday boy in bed first.
Yeah.
Really? That's a shame.
playing up as usual. Had too much cake and ice cream.
He's had way too much ice cream, and he's been on the trampoline all night.
I was thinking about birthdays when I was a kid the other day. My parents spoiled me so bad. I had a birthday party when I was a kid where they basically rented out a bunch of arcade machines, and we have a big backyard.
Wow.
And they put it all under the patio in our backyard.
That's so cool.
And I just had like in Australia it's time zone, but I don't know what it's called in the rest of the world.
In Australia, did you ever have like a kind of a themed kind of inflatable obstacle course? You'd go to the local swimming pool.
Yes.
And you'd like rent out the
Lots
space.
of those.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
Okay.
And there's always a slide at the end, and that was like the big kind of payoff for all of the night. Wait, he hasn't got a kit.
What's he thinking?
I guess he wants to pull them back. Maybe
If he did have a kit, he would have the round at this point.
the Vitality have like a really scary 3 seconds for us. Like, could he have a kit? No, it's fine.
I'm sure they didn't even know it was anywhere near the bomb. That's how lucky they were. They didn't even have to think about it. This is ignorance is bliss in a scenario like that one right there. No panic required. And NIP with another limped on him by. Twist once again. No utility behind that AWP. Not a defuse kit to speak of. It's not looking good for the Ninjas here.
Well, finally they have some funds to speak of, but still a far cry from where they want to be. 3 players have our helmets, and luckily no M4s this time. And the AWP for Twist does have armor. No kits at all. No grenades for Twist either. So another hamstrung round. We will see a bit of aggression towards top of middle. It's Nork sitting in the smoke here. He seems to know exactly where Apex is, and he's just smoke to go down.
We can play the game with Apex of when we spot Nork. So he's still there right now, and great reaction. He was so ready for that.
It's always looking good when Apex is hitting shots like that. 5 on 3. And Shock's just waiting for the response here on the CT side. A very reactive map. You see players push towards B a lot. For now, though, Plopsky being the anchor, no information that holds on the side itself. Bomb down in T-spawn. Still a minute to work with here. Vitality have done so much in the first 40 seconds of this round.
But you can see the risks that NIP are having to take when they're lower on utility. They're having to try and find these opening picks. And that's what it looks like when it doesn't work. It's flat. They just get out. They've only done a little bit of damage here. Apex is the only one to get taken down at all. And now Zywoo, well, he's selling a fake over on the B bomb site. Lekro's pushed forward. Another one falls. And now it's a 2-on-5 situation. Call this round done. Vitality are locked it up.
They're looking very good individually. It's all coming together. Nothing remarkable from a strategic point of view so far, but in terms of fundamentals of Counter-Strike, trading things out, being surprising, changing the pace up, all the things we've mentioned so far, it's looking great. If they hit their shots, their system works, categorically. It's when players like Zywoo don't have the best day, or you're missing Apex, for example, which was what we saw before when he first joined this in-game leading role. We are seeing Rez get a couple of kills here, but certainly worth the hunt. You can see the money's out of control on the Vitality side. Losing 3 players might be a little bit too costly, but they get the kill in the end. So they've still got 13 grand on Misuto, who died in the previous round. So absolutely fine.
Look at the patience. I mean, RPK, all he had to do as Zywoo was still in that B fake was stand behind the boxes, and the frag came to him. After those early casualties, NIP, you talked about it, having to try and fill the gap of utility with aggression, and it's not worked out well. Let's see if they can do something with just the armored pistols and a smattering of smoke grenades. It doesn't look positive. Looks like it could very well be 8 here on Vitality's map pick. Shocks to be tested on ramp.
Ooh.
Oof. Lekro's Deagle's strong. If they lose another rifle here, and they could very well watch this round get ripped from them. Apex trying to take a bit of space here, up into and through the connector smoke, and that gap has paid off, but only for 1.
Well, he made a gap. Look, the rotation on the minimap right now, they left the B bomb site, but there's not enough time. Plopsky's there. He's able to lock this down with the scout through the window room.
Well, still a chance Zai will be able to take him down, and the B bomb site will be wide open at that stage. He's coming in now with the AWP. Molotov deployed, and the scout doesn't quite connect. So the AWP, a chance to take him down there. We'll smoke off towards Kitchen instead here. And RPK, if he gets this kill, they really are onto something. But 2 scout shots connecting here. Surely Zywoo, after missing that one, won't have much of a chance here. Down to 14 HP, just a matter of time. And there we have it. NIP with a bit of luck going in their favor for 1 to 4 surviving. AK-47s found in 3s, and the AWP as well. A fantastic round for them.
They really needed that, didn't they? This half was starting to get away from them. But if they can course correct right now, the money bonus they're getting from winning a low buy scenario, we can see them get back into this. An 8-7 half would be asking a lot, but if they can get up to, well, the 7 of that 8, I wouldn't be too upset.
Well played to Plopsky. Like, he had a lot of responsibility to hold that kitchen cross. He failed on the first attempt and then manages to get those 2 close quarters scout body shots, which otherwise really could have spiraled out of control. So we return to another round of the usual. It will be a smoke towards the window to buy some space for the French. And actually, they want apps as well. The smoke from Plopsky and a nade looks very promising. Good damage. They're going contact. Uh-oh. Plopsky could get super caught out by this. The flashes are very indicative, but look how fast he was.
Wow,
Caught
what an
out.
entrance. As we said, plenty of money for Vitality, but they've opted for the MAC-10 to go in first because of that drop-down procedure we just saw from Shox. The MAC-10 actually a better weapon for that initial duel, the first 2 seconds coming through. If he goes down, not the end of the world, but if he gets the opening kill, he's a lot more nimble. If he's blind or going through smoke or even flames, jumping, the MAC-10 will be able to operate there, and he gets that first frag, and you can see that's all they need. 1 single kill from a MAC-10 has won them the round. So very well played and calculated there from Vitality. If it works, looks fantastic.
And Shox even gets a free upgrade to the AK-47 that Plopsky drops, so it works out perfectly right here for Vitality. As clean as round as you'll ever see, and they walk away with 8 on the board. They've won the half on their map choice. Things are looking very good for the French, and I can guarantee you this. 1 French team will be winning today. There's 3 of them playing. At least one of them wins.
Okay, I see what you did there. It's G2 Heretics after this, right? So he has done something.
It's the French resistance today.
Yes, indeed. So, getting to the bookend of this first half, NIP managing to win the second round forced by there, a 3-1 start. Went to 4-2, and that's when Vitality really started to show us what they're made of. 5 rounds in a row. NIP broke the streak, but straight back from Vitality, leave us at 8-5. 2 rounds to play for. NIP do have decent money after winning with the AK-47s, and saving 4 in the previous round certainly has helped them out as well. They have enough cash for the last round.
Suitor from the Palace position, and wow, that pre-fire really hurts. Look at this. It's simple. It's effective. Twist, however, disagrees. He nearly got 3. Masuta will try and get that bomb down. He's vulnerable to the HE, but the Molotovs have got enough space, enough distance to make that impossible. Rotate coming in from Nork and Plopsky. Will they have anything left to contribute into this round? They got cash to splash into the next. Nork, however, burning to a crisp. He doesn't have any information.
Plopsky uses this nade. That's a frag. Masuta's dead. Doable now. They have smokes.
1 smoke towards the bomb position. Another to stop that ramp info. He can cross safely to the bomb. Spray does do damage. Apex knows he's got to deal with it, but Nork, he's holding the cross, and Plopsky's holding the bomb. It's onto Shoxy. He's done the damage, but the defuse does come in time. A 6 for the ninjas, and it is through the ninja.
I love those smokes to come down as well. They created like a fortress around the bomb itself. Shoxy, great work to actually bring it down to 1 versus 1, but ran out of time. The 4 defusers there, and Vitality give the round up. It was looking great off his opening picks. You didn't think they'd stand a chance in the retake, but there they are. NIP will have a triple orb set up to close things out in round number 15 here. I'm sure they're going to juggle over M4s, just to be clear there, but having the option of the orb on the floor, I'm assuming is where they're going with it.
One would certainly assume
Any
so.
M4s down there, Green?
Doesn't look
Doesn't
like
look
it.
like it.
So they're legit going for the 3 orbs. There must be something.
Ah, some jewelies. Okay.
There you go.
No, it's 2 deagles.
2 pistols for the price of 1.
Yeah, you could rock him akimbo. I heard the Call of Duty scene are loving that at the moment. Zaiwu, quick check in on his stats. You can see how he hasn't been necessarily translating those sniper purchases into a whole lot. It's very interesting, but yes, so far, been keeping a lid on Zaiwu. NIP, however, haven't been able to contain Vitality. It's because everyone else has been pulling their weight. Shox, Apex, both in the teens. A 2-smoke fake?
Potentially the bomb's there, though. So it could be Shox going to join the boys. They've sent 2 smokes over, 4 flashes, and they're going to continue their approach towards middle here. They will exchange blows. No one taking any damage, though. Nork spots Zaiwu towards the top of middle. And remember, triple orb setup on the CT side. Everything can work in Counter-Strike. It's certainly against the grain, but for the final round, why not? Give it a go.
And so here comes the B split. There's no one there from the CTs. They're moving so fast that unless shots get hit, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Nork's avoided a lot. And now Plopsky baits it in. He's going to have to start shooting. Now the bomb's in apps, though. 1 committed to the site, caught by Twist, and the ninjas have held the door.
What a sick play that was to close out the half. NIP with the crossfire from hell. It'll be 8-7 on the pick of Vitality, and we'll take a break. We'll be back with the second half of very shortly.
Let's take lost when you now won. You ain't sacrificed now, you ain't lost none. All over the
In the eye of a hurricane, always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Right. Come alive.
Just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place.
8-7 on the half. It's Vitality's map pick, Mirage, the first of 3 potential maps for these two to duke it out upon. You can take a quick look at the stats as we breach our second half. I think the main kind of observation with the stats on screen here, fellas, got Henry G and Chad with me, is that every member of Vitality's found some impact in that first half.
Yeah, everyone's looking pretty good, to be honest with you. No one's really dropping off significantly in the fragging department. It suggests we're going to have a very good game. The scoreline indicative of that as well. 8-7, right down the middle, as you would expect. And it's a B rush coming in here from NIP. We have got the flashbangs delivered. And it's Twist to lead the charge here, as he'll find 3 players on the other side. And the first kill will be landing in favor of RPK.
Oh.
And Ninja's trying to answer back, but it's not looking good at all for them. That's their first kill.
Yeah, but Lecro, maybe another.
Oh.
Oh, and into the site. There's one more that remains. Apex, spotted now by Rez and found. He needs the last. It's Masuta. He doesn't have the health. Rez's nade could do some damage, but avoided. No armor on Masuta, no health on Rez. He's already got 2. But he's managed to make this situation at least winnable. It looked like Vitality had this in the bag with RPK's frags.
Well, the mind games begin right here, right now. Rez knows he's low. He's got to use the clock. He's got a minute remaining and just 11 points of health. Masuta still tucked in towards the bench. They're right next to each other. Masuta seems to be aware of it, and, well, that's going to give it up. And the kill comes in. Rez had 1 bullet to make that work. Doesn't land, and it will be the round for Vitality. But what a brawl of around that was. Pure deathmatch in the B-bomb. So I felt like we had all 10 players alive at one point, fighting it out.
That was great, and I think being on Twist's POV as we jumped into the bomb site with X-Ray off just shows you how difficult it is for an entry fragger, right? You know where your smokes are, you know what your flash is meant to blind, but you still have to find where the CTs are. And that right there is, well, the biggest part of the problem is NIP without the plant, without that extra cash injection. We'll have to be taking a save. The Tech 9 in the hands of Rez. Nothing crazy. Nothing too exciting here. I also had back-to-back birthday parties where they took me paintballing.
I did a lot of paintball parties, but I was part of the family that would only pay the bare minimum for the entry. So no, everyone got like 50 balls for an entire day.
Yeah.
And just be kind of embarrassing.
And then you had
to be
that
real
awkward thing like,
conservative.
hey, guys, if you could just make sure you bring
£20,
like 20, just some cash. So if you want to play with like 200 balls is £10. So
yeah, and it was always the worst.
Oh.
Just really didn't like that. I haven't been paintballing since, actually.
No, I haven't tried the airsoft thing. That looks a little too intense for me. There's a lot of
airsoft really
crawling
is
in the
intense.
mud.
Like the people really do take it quite seriously. Like it's full military outfits, like replica guns.
I'm not up for that.
All the equipment. And I went when I was like 14. Once I was really into airsoft, I had loads of myself. I was like, I don't want to be one of these people when I grow up. I was like, this is probably not ideal.
It seems like it is quite a full commitment. You
There's
can't
a lot
just
of money
dabble.
invested in
One
that
can't
hobby.
dabble.
Yeah, you definitely have to go all in. I've realized I wasn't going to be committed.
Can you jiggle peek in like paintball, you reckon?
The thing is with airsoft, you can't really prove you've been shot or you've shot someone. It's just the honor system, really. The paintball, at least you have a system. And so does NIP towards top and middle. There's the segue. That's what we're working with. And we're going to be into a 5-on-4.
And yes, we are here all week. And there's probably veal as well. So
try that. For now, with the early advantage, the CTs are going to have to pull up their socks. Let's not forget this is a bonus round of sorts. They didn't really have to invest too much, probably about 2-3 grand total. So with these bonus weapons up against the AKs, there is a limited utility. The longer this round goes, the better Vitality's chances are. A rushed push into an MP9. Not checking your corners because time is of the essence, and that's when these SMGs and the FAMAS can feel an open playing field. I say that. Rez has given them the warning shot now, all pushing in, and he's got one. Not bad for ZywOo. He'll take Nork out, and RPK's managed to get another as well. They're keeping this competitive. Plopsky's in a lot of trouble, and the hold down of Mouse 1 does net Shox 1.
Down to the 2-on-1, though. He's got to do a lot more than that. He's got the FAMAS in hand, a couple of flashbangs to operate with, but they seem to know exactly where he is. 38 HP is what Shox has been given to operate with, as now he'll have a Tech 9 in reserve, no defuse kit. $3,000 in reserve, but that might not be even up for debate.
he could go A ramp and pick up a free AK if he really wants, if he wants to upgrade that weapon. The other option is just box them in and try and take them down here with the bomb or as they're trying to save. But there's a lot of things that Shox can do right now. It doesn't have to go for the round. You can see this picks up the AK. Everything should be fine. Carry that through to the next. They can get the buy on board.
That's a kid as well.
ZywOo has 4,200, so the AWP's definitely going to come out. ZywOo was relatively quiet in the first half, but as we said, it was more of a team effort. On the CT side, that's where I expect to see ZywOo's kills start to skyrocket, right? He's going to be getting multiple kills, either in retake situations or wherever he's defending on the map. They can use him aggressively. He can be picking middle. So right now, if you want to see some highlights from ZywOo, this will be the time to start tuning on in. It's not guaranteed. It's just a gut feeling, I got.
Certainly a possibility. On that CT side, he certainly does have a lot of avenues to make that impact. And speaking of impact, you can see Lekr is facing the center of your screen. Just the one kill, but most damage of any of the players that contributed in that round. And now into 19.
Yeah, it should be a buy no problem for Vitality after saving the AK-47. Shox can drop an M4 required, but doesn't look like it'll have to. They have got ZywOo with enough of the AWP as well, so you'll assume that will be being brought forward. NIP picking up the first of the second half. It's 2-1 overall here in the second half. ZywOo does bring out the AWP looking towards A, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of pacing NIP have got for us here. After winning the previous round, one player survived, that's Shox, so you can pretty much guarantee they'll be fully invested here. Apart from him with 3,800 remaining, so a big round, NIP have a chance to maybe extend into an EK if they pick this one up. 5 AKs for them.
Big push from Shox there. He's got into the ladder room. Excuse me, I was looking at the minimap. It's the guy underneath him that actually looked like he was there. It's actually just a Plopsky, a wild Plopsky that's looked like an aggressive T. Instead, he's just taking his time towards middle. He'll be able to work that up with Lekro eventually. Quite similar to what we've seen from Vitality. Just a smoke towards the connector, Molotov the usual positions, and with 1 minute on the clock, middle is under your control.
Molotov in towards the connector indeed. We have got Shox in CPL. He's got the AK-47 from the previous round. So good grenade towards Plopsky. Lekro certainly aware of the exit from CPL. Doesn't do too much damage though in Apex. He'll be challenged any second. Plopsky there with the glow in hand. Flashbang delivered. Apex very aware of their presence, but that's a nice shot from Zywoo.
Gets away, that's the most important part. He lives to fight another day. Plopsky fighting as well. Catches Shox, advantage again for the T side. They haven't checked Masuta though, but now he's been spotted, and it's not a clean kill, it's just damage. Twist still alive, and that enables him to plant that bomb.
Scary plan when Zywoo's alive at the AWP. He'll be announcing his presence from CT spawn. Flashbang delivered, but he'll dodge it. Jumps up on the CT boxes. He knows exactly where first player is, and he'll detect Twist as well. Back down to the 2-on-2. No grenades available from the CT side, but they've got skill in boatloads here. Zywoo will find his third of the round. Needs a fourth to go down to the 1 versus 1. Has to go for this defuse and Lekro. Great play, overwhelming. A stifling flashbang as well. Remove the AWP scope. No time to recalibrate, and it will be a big round for NIP to pick up.
Just right now, thinking about how much money Shox saved going into this round right here.
Yeah.
He could drop Zywoo an AWP if they want, right?
He had 3,900 going into the previous round, so he'll get 1,900 on top of that. So you could definitely drop the AWP. It's just depending on how much money Zywoo's got. I don't think he'll have much because he bought the AWP in the previous. Yeah, he'll have 1,900, right? So Shox will have 5K. He'll go for the Desert Eagle, but that's about it. They couldn't really justify much on top of it, considering they could buy next round with 2,400, I guess, on top of 2K.
So the buy next round will still be relatively weak.
It won't be great. No.
But they will have the AWP because of Shox. So at least we're looking towards that positive.
I dare say he might use that himself.
No, Henry. Henry, no. We're not going back to those times.
I feel like that could be happening.
No.
Gone are the days. Gone are the days.
I will write a strongly worded email.
Okay.
Dearest
I'm just
Vitality.
saying there's a good chance Shox will be AWPing next round and Zywoo won't be.
Well, one of the two names that you're mentioning was the best player of 2019. And one of them wasn't.
And one of them was Zywoo.
And one of them's really good with the AWP, and one of them's okay with the AWP.
See how this
so what would you do, Henry?
I agree with you. That's what I would do. But just from what I see right now, I'm going to speculate.
Your gut feeling.
There is a moment in the next round that we'll be considering that Shox will go main AWP.
Well, I love the suspense now, especially. We get to that 15
seconds. I over-egged the pudding on this one.
No, you haven't. I over-egged it. I like my pudding eggy.
Okay. Well, we have got Lekro walking into the bear trap, as it were. If they win this round, all bets are off. We're not doing the Zywoo Shox AWP thing. But,
could be 2 AWPs if they win this round.
Exactly. That's why we can't really count it. But it's looking good. The excitement's still there. I know everyone in chat right now is going nuts. Will Shox have the AWP?
To find out what the decision-making process
you don't even need live events. With commentary like this, what's the difference, really?
Everyone's cheering in the same way.
It's almost too exciting.
And you guys got the best view. You're at home on your couch, or maybe you're at your PC, but either way.
I do like, for some reason, I prefer the idea that now that the Chromecast thing is much more accessible.
Right, it makes media so much better.
But I just think, I'm so glad because it means that no longer, when I was imagining a viewer, I was imagining someone that was kind of clicking through Twitch streams with their head in their hands, trying to kill time. Now it's like they've popped us on the telly.
No, Chromecast did change it. If you're a Twitch viewer, I would recommend getting stuck in on that. So it's pretty cool. Being sure you can just throw your streams up on your telly, no problem.
Yeah, it just makes suddenly feels like streaming is much more accessible when you don't have to just sit at your PC and
Zywoo has the AWP. It's all good.
Scroll through. Yeah.
So it's all in vain. We don't get to see it.
It's a bit disappointing, really,
we'll
now.
We'll be using it. And Shox, he'll not have armor or nades right now. I'm sure he'll take care of that here. You can see no helmets at all, being very frugal in their approach here. Going for the grenades. Only 1 kit, though. Shox picked that up at the last second. So 1 is always enough.
Plopsky opting for the MAC-10 in $3 grand
Similar reason for Vitality. We saw that in the first half. And it's going to work perfectly if he can get in towards B, no helmets.
Imagine if he gets the same opening frag. We saw the SMG bounding in, and a good chance for it. My God, he tames the MAC-10 spray, and that's going to get the CTs to over-rotate, you'd imagine. They didn't spot the bomb, and now Shox has gone down on A, perhaps trying to return to that site. There's only 2 of them left, though.
I'm so happy teams are starting to realize the power of the MAC-10 and how to utilize it correctly.
Yeah.
You don't need 5 of them, you don't need 2 of them, just 1 at the front of the pack, positioned correctly with the right strategy involved. Like, it can be a very interesting weapon. We'll see Plotsky go down eventually, and that's going to be a key frag for Lekro. 4 versus 1, and Zywu remains, and he's actually towards short.
Uh-oh. They're taking the bomb back towards B.
I see the picture you're about to paint, Chad. I'm not quite ready to start, you know, whipping out my brushes.
Well, he can hear them if they go elephant foot through B apps. If he stays here towards short, close towards the B apps position.
He bops the bomb carrier as he strafes down.
There's a world.
There is
This
certainly
is the
a
best
world.
player from 2019 right here.
And he has managed to spot the first. Lekro goes down. What do they do now? Yeah, pivot. Get their
But they have
health
to
away.
still get past him.
And he's going to hear them in underpass. Oh, surely not. Nade does great damage towards Twist. He's got 2
he's
to deal
coming.
with, and he doesn't find it. A chance for Zywu and a very promising one, but Zrez with a precise headshot does secure the 11th. NIP will take the lead, and they've got a lot of cash in reserve for the next one to come.
There's a list of players, right? And Zyu's on that list.
Okay.
We can maybe build that list right now, who are still alive, and in a situation like that where potentially frags are coming their way, they can win
Are
it.
they alive
okay.
or dead in real life?
Oh, no,
Which
no.
ones are we talking
I
about?
meant where they can still convert rounds.
Okay,
right?
yes.
Zyu's one,
Yeah.
Simple's another. I'm going to
Definitely.
put Cold Zero on the list.
Yeah.
I'm going to put
Voxic,
Nico on the list.
Obviously, Farley.
Farley, of course. Farley, the most recent addition
And
to the list.
all AWPers as well.
Hey, surprise, surprise.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely like Voxic, like those sort of AWPers, like that's a good shout. And
I don't know the vein in which Simple meant it, but I was digging through some comments, and apparently on Reddit he had written, and this is, don't quote me on this, that the AWP is the easiest gun, so of course he's going to use it.
In terms of being the easiest to pick up and find a kill with, sure, but in terms of justifying the
Mastering,
investment on someone who's like $6,000 and having to them operate against another world-class AWP, that's a different conversation entirely.
It's definitely like the most comfortable weapon for someone arriving in Counter-Strike. It's like the most kind of simple for you.
Point and shoot.
Click, they die if you clicked on the body. I mean, it's simple as that. And I think it definitely does have quite a lot of wide appeal to the newcomers to Counter-Strike. I was definitely guilty of it, and I know a lot of people I played with as well. You start finding comfort on that first, and then once you start to master the rifles, you realize just how difficult it can be to apply the AWP in a team environment. The very best, though, can have colossal impact on the round. Doesn't look like Masuita's going to have the same today. His bullets don't quite finish off Twist, and now just going to look to get that bomb down and finish it off. If he dies now, Zywu will be joining them all in a nice, neat pile of Vitality corpses in middle. But he's not going to be doing that.
Could be an AK for free right
Could
here.
be. Won't be. Nork will find him. It's 12-10, and they keep 3 people standing.
That's now 4 rounds, make it 5 in a row for NIP. So they are looking incredibly good on this T side. Like I said, going into this one, I feel like Vitality, sure, they can keep up, but in terms of the strategy, NIP on the T side, I think that's actually where they'll do most of their hard work. We're seeing some very creative plays from them, good variations, awareness of what they're up against, and here comes double AWP, Chad. I said it was coming. Shox does like to bring that AWP on this B side of Mirage. For better or for worse, I don't think it looks great. I don't think that's a justified investment to go back to our previous chat, but we'll see if it works out for me. Actually, it's towards Palace for this opening round.
Well, if he hits this shot, he instantly makes his value through the roof, setting him up with an opening pick, but it's a stalemate right now. Norky's in no rush. The default spread just across the rest of the map. If you take a look at the radar in your top left, you'll see 3 individuals fanned out towards middle, 1 A ramp, 1 in Palace. That's Nork, who we're just on board with there. And they're waiting to see if there's any CT-sided aggression. If anyone wants to get a little bit cheeky, see if they can find that early kill. But everyone at this point, they're happy just to stay where they are, sit and wait. And Nork may have heard just that footstep backing off there. Apex will think better of hanging around window now that more Molotovs are coming in towards the connector position. So they're rejigging the CT setup. And they're ready for an A split.
They certainly are. But will they be able to pull it off? That's the question. Up against the double AWPs, and execution does make a lot of sense. You're trying to eradicate the threat of the AWPs, and Shox does be put to the test now. The first shot doesn't land. The second should be no problem. Much easier for him. And they've actually got a lot of manpower here towards A. Shox will find his second. That AWP of his looking very powerful. 4 versus 2. Rez and Nork up against it now as he finds his third. This is why he's bringing it out. That's the best round I've seen from him in some time with the AWP.
21 kills to his name. He's leading the charge right now. And that's an important round for Vitality to win. The money's not broken on the NIP side of things. They can still afford and they can still invest, but at least it's a statement that double AWPs are out. And we're going to see more I think spawn-based could be the way forward here, Henry, for them with the double AWPs, as opposed to just being rigid with it. If you get a good spawn, go forward, potentially find the opening pick.
Shox is just like, he's like an eagle, and he can't cage eagles. Yeah, you can't cage him.
A French eagle.
If you start putting him in one position, he's going to get bored. He's going to start being inquisitive, maybe not staying within his lane, as it were. But if you give him the option to go frags, I actually kind of like that. That's more a bit more Shoxy, if you ask me. But B execution looking quite likely. Knowing they're up against the double AWPs here, you should see a shift in the NIP approach. And for now, a boost from RPK. He's taken up in towards the Palace. We saw this from Nip in the first half. The AWP taking the aggro, hoping to bait in the rifle. We saw that great trigger discipline from Nork and the FAMAS before. See if that can be replicated. It's the same setup, different players though. So 1 minute 10 remaining. Twist will have a chance if he does cross any further. That's going to be Shox, bear in mind. 4 players outside B. Incendiary down towards short. So they're still fine. They've got a player in towards CPL. They're going for the B execution here. So expect to see the 2 smokes towards the pillars, but RPK gets stuck, and it's when the AWP can really come online now. Shox doesn't drop off. He'll have to now. The Flames landing at his front door, and they've done enough. They've actually bought a lot of time here. 4 versus 2. A chance to fall back. They don't have to take these fights. Wait for NIP to commit.
Okay, a great smoke from Shox. He can tuck in on the bench position, and it baits them into Apex. Twist will be able to at least deal with the first, opting for the rifle for the rest of this round. It could be quite short, though, because ZywOo's got the line. And the double AWPs, they passed their second test. First a 4K from Shox, and now dividing and conquering. It's 3 between the 2 of them. ZywOo will take the impact player, and we're back level. It's not even level. In fact, if anything, there is a disbalance now in the other way. It looks like Plopsky and gang are only going to be rocking a little bit of a Kevlar vest and a couple of smokes.
Yeah, that's all they really can do. They gave 2 rounds up there, trying to get towards that B bomb side, but Shoxy actually shuts them down twice. 4 kills before the AWP, gets 2 there as well. The crossfire setup does work out quite nicely, with RPK finding the timing there to really disrupt their approach. Never got the full execution out. And speaking of executions, we'll probably see one here towards A. Smoke down towards jungle and steps. Or hopefully one towards CT spawn as well. You flash over. You're hoping the AWP will miss out on the shot. That's a smoke for spawn. Flashbang to be delivered momentarily. And in we go. Any second now. It's looking very good for Vitality. It's all down to if you get the first kill, no problem. Missed shots from the AWP, there is a chance you can make this happen.
Yeah, you just need this one. And the flashes are making it look very comfortable for Masuta. 3 finally found. They want the plant. They need a kill, and it's Apex to stop it in their tracks. Not too shabby at all. They only lose the 1 rifle. And NIP, the investment was in vain. They'll be bringing out everything now, though, for round 26.
This is good stuff, and it's great that it's a close game. Next map we know is Overpass. That was NIP's choice, and when these 2 teams went toe-to-toe in the road to Rio on it so far, Vitality actually came out on top of Overpass 16-14 in a game where they dominated, well, actually were dominated in terms of opening kills, lost 19-11, and NIP won 4 clutches. That's 4 1vx situations to Vitality 0, and Vitality still won the map. So Overpass it's going to be on like Donkey Kong.
Is that a new phrase you're using?
Yeah, I played this new game. And there's these, well, I don't want to ruin it.
No, sure.
But there's barrels, and bananas, right? You play it on a console.
It's going to be huge this year, I reckon.
They might even put him in Mario Kart as one of the characters.
It's on like Donkey Kong. You heard it here first.
And there was Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong didn't quite make the same dizzy heights of his uncle, though, did he?
No, he didn't.
Never quite made the same.
He had a cooler hat, though, didn't he?
He did, a little red baseball cap. Better driver as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, more agile, I always thought.
Yes, for sure.
I always wondered about the aerodynamics of Bowser. Never thought he'd be particularly
Well, he's
speedy.
weighty. He's girthy, isn't he? He likes to knock people off the road instead of trying to overtake them.
You kind of live like a Bowser mentality, don't you, Henry?
Yeah, you know. Not necessarily politically aligned with him, I would say.
I mean, but
generally speaking, his work ethic, sure.
Chaotic neutral, maybe.
Yes.
Do see Masuta in a little bit of trouble, but yet to see the commitment and a missed shot from Plopsky. Baited out ZywOo's shot, and now the nade, and he actually hits the AWP shot as well. NIP just disintegrate as they advance towards A. There's nothing North can do now. He'll maybe clutch the first. That's not bad. Stops it from being a team ace. Now he's got 4 more to deal with. Shock should find it. Lovely. As another AWP frag rings true. And again, that's another 3 frag round from the AWP players. Ever since this investment came in, Vitality haven't lost.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's actually 4 in a row for them. It's actually been the remedy to their CT side. Has been the secondary AWP Shock. So certainly proving me wrong. looking very good out there at this point, and actually finding his 23rd frag. And he's not towards B at all, Chad. We have to say that he was towards B last time we saw Mirage. He was there every round planting his feet.
And now they're doing it by spawns, which is actually allowing them to be more agile, as long as they know when to reel it in.
And yeah, this is great. It's very dynamic. This is straight up B rush, and Zai was there. He'll drop the incendiary. He'll spot a load, and the grenade is lovely as well. It's going to do a ton of damage, and it's actually the first kill. What's RPK? He's timed out.
Oh, no.
He's still alive, though. Is he in the smoke or something?
I don't know what's going on there.
Where is he?
He's...
Yeah.
He can't still be... He must have disconnected, right?
They can't...
He can't be in the smoke or something.
You can't
alive.
So it's a 2v4. It is definitely a 2v4 right now, unless he just miraculously comes back.
Yeah, but we can see him. How can't they?
He just moved. He had some life in him.
No, they shot him.
Flinched.
It was like a scarecrow. It was like a scarecrow, right? He got shot in.
It was just the wind, Henry. It's not real. Scarecrows aren't real.
Now, unfortunately, that all went down.
Actually, I mean, like,
as damage was done.
We are making light of a rather ridiculous situation. It's no fun. This was an NIP victory that's come with a caveat. RPK. We don't know exactly when he disconnected, but from his position and judging from the freeze frame, he was there.
What are they saying?
Right at the start.
So Apex just typed unlucko crash, but you didn't see him for 30 seconds. XD.
Yeah, he was there the entire time then. I thought he was. I was like, he can still... If he was actually disconnected, it's not a GoTV bug. He would just leave. So he was actually legit just there, standing with an nade out.
If it was like a timeout, maybe that's why I hung around a little bit.
Perhaps.
Look, either way, this is a really unfortunate situation for Vitality, considering it was just up against the Pistols.
Up against Pistols, and the anchors
now,
going down.
We can't speculate on which way that round would have gone down either way. Unfortunately, we have to play it as it lies. And, well, if anything, it's just going to make the tail end of this first map even more exciting now, because Vitality, they have to scrape together a buy with what they've got, which is actually enough. There's no dramas there. NIP are back in it as far as the economy is concerned. We just will be waiting for RPK to rejoin the server. So Green, do we have a time on that? Do we know how long?
So I called him up.
Yeah.
He was very furious, you know, as always. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. But he says he's restarting his PC and he should be in very shortly.
You speak French?
Oui.
Okay, wow, you nailed it there.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Wow, that was impressive.
Qu'est-ce que tu manges pour le petit déjeuner?
Je voudrais un croissant.
Oh, it actually worked. I said, what did you have for breakfast? He said, I'd like a croissant.
No,
kind of.
Oui.
Kind of worked.
Kind of.
You're almost there.
Well, it's about as good as his German. Rush, what do you got in German for everybody?
Mein Deutsch ist sehr gut. Ich spreche große Deutsch.
You don't just put a German accent on and say, my Deutsch is good.
That's how it works. It's going to sound like it's right, and then it's probably right.
That's what I do. I just say things louder and slower in English. They seem to understand what I'm saying. So I'll stick with that system.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm the one doing German lessons, and all I can say is that the cat ate the mouse in various.
Maybe it did, and that's why RPK crashed.
And tenses. Yes.
My favorite from Duolingo is Das ist Brot.
Yeah. Oh, so you've done that one, and then it just shows you a picture of like a clip art of milk, and it just says Milch, and you're like, well, even I can work that one out.
It's some of the stuff, right? Some of the words as well. I tried to do it for a little while there, and I realized it's probably not for me.
Yeah, I also totally now get where you got the your eyes are like stars thing, because I bought the flirting module.
Yeah, you did.
Of course I did. Once I had my lingots, I couldn't wait to spend them on the flirting
Alex,
module.
ich finde dich süß.
Okay, one thing of Rush I think we need to tidy up and nip in the bud here is dish instead of dick. If you can just try
It's dich.
Dish.
It's not dish. It's not like
We're in Germany.
It's
I
cuisine,
find
you
out.
know?
Well, there's probably some Germans that we could ask.
Yeah.
I think there's a few behind Rushy right now.
Actually, there isn't.
There isn't a single
We have a
German behind
Swede,
him.
we have a Romanian, and a Dutch.
And I mean, the Dutchman probably got the best insight there. We'll have to
I
poke
think
and probe.
Matt speaks pretty damn... yeah, I've got to study more, boys.
Yeah,
Sorry about
get
that.
back on.
Do you have to do the test at any point, Rush?
I hope so. I hope not.
Okay, well, as long as you hope not, that should make it all okay.
For Rush's sake, I hope
Guys,
so
the
too.
rounds were starting, but I don't see RPK.
He'll be back. Rush just needs to refresh the HUD. There we go.
Oh, it's typical
mate.
observer.
Sort it out.
T-Tors in the chat.
Right, we're off to the races then. We're getting to the closing segment of this first map. It's to pick a Vitality. NIP will gift it around due to the disconnect of RPK. It has led them to an opening frag. 1.5. Apex down to 5 HP. He'll scramble back to the side. Shocks. He does hit yet another. That's going to be Plopsky going down. Nork trying to make up for it. He knows he's low and preemptively fires towards spawn.
He's opted to pick up the AWP. It's intriguing, and it could have, but it doesn't pay off. He's been spotted by RPK. Advantage could still exist, but not going to get out of dodge, and I'm starting to get nervous about that AWP switch up. They've got 2 of them to hold this site. Now RPK can advance. A great shot, but a second comes in. RPK's doing a lot here, and it's down to our nervous Rez. Oh, my lord. It's not planted for him. RPK's got to the site. ZywOo, however, down. He calls the bluff on RPK's defuse, and he gets them both. That's a huge clutch at a monumental moment of the game.
You can see what that's done to Vitality, winning the previous round by virtue of pistols and a great A play there. 1 versus 2 for Rez. He converts it. Cool as you like as well. Didn't flinch here. Never a doubt in his mind he's going to lose this round. Has led them to a 14-14 scoreline, and it's around $2,000 per player on Vitality. This lead has been stolen away from them. It's looking like they'll have to take the eco and play for overtime here, and NIP will be able to guarantee that fact after this round. They'll be up against pretty much nothing. You can't justify any sort of investment. Shox has $8 grand to be fair, so maybe they bring out an AWP Chad just to go with it. I wouldn't hate that, to be honest with you. He gets an AWP, but he has hit some great shots today. And there's the armor, suggests he's going for it. There's the AWP. Okay, so now this makes sense. You want to get some P250s and AWP as well. You've got a chance of winning this one. Before, it would be require a miracle. Now, it's actually about a 70-30 chance you might pull this one off.
Yeah, he's opted for window. Is he going for the smooth move? Oh dear, a bit of a slip up perhaps, but it pays off. Lekro down, aggressive AWPing from Shoxy has got them the first frag they needed. But where does he go from here? Apps to retreat, he smoked himself off. Twist is going to lock the doors.
Well, they're pushing B-Apps with pistols as well, so if they go too far forward here, Twist can get taken out. He's not ready for this push.
Neither was RPK though, a very swift adjustment from Twist. Shox is going to have to do some mad AWPing now. Close quarters, and he misses the shot. That was his chance. And now Vitalities are starting to dwindle.
That should be the danger dealt with here. Now they can just take their time, they can retool. They can also make sure that AWP can't be picked back up. If they want to throw it away over the wall to Twist right-hand side, that would be fine. Here we go, he's picked it up, and hey!
Off it goes.
Look at that, I got one right for
You
once.
did. Nailed it. That's at least a gold star.
Nice.
Just the one.
Ours were called Merit Awards.
Did you get them at the dentist as well? That's the only time I ever got a gold star was at the dentist.
I used to get like Tasmanian Devil stickers.
Stickers as well.
With like
Stickers
a thumbs up saying,
For me, I remember
was
the times
nice.
I didn't get one. I was like, I realized I was genuinely upset. I was
How
like,
old
have
were
they
you,
programmed me? Oh, 23.
Okay,
but,
so...
I realized that
Great shots from ZywOo. Maybe there's still a chance. It's on Masuta. He's caught a bullet, though, and he will go down. A chance delivered by ZywOo in the middle of nowhere.
Does he get a Tazzy Devil sticker for that one?
I think he might do.
Yeah, just one?
Yeah, that would, he'll get the foil, though, like the shiny.
Yeah. Whoa. One more, and there was a real shot. Great catch from Rez to stop the damage before it got too much, but that's 15-14. The AWP, hero AWP. Guys, I don't want to be that guy, but do you think Shox was trying to do the strafe? He wasn't aiming for underpass there?
He definitely was trying to jump up.
It happens every now and then, though, right? You just have to make the most of it and still operate. You got to say, well, that's it.
It was Urcast who did a great meme video of like when you go for the strafe jump and miss.
Yeah.
He was giving the pros guys. I'm rushing middle. Yeah. Rushing mid. That's all you have to do. You just have to make sure you say that line. It's totally justified. I still don't go for that strafe. No, thank you.
It's very, very difficult, but so is this last round from Vitality. Another amazing segue here.
Can't stop it today.
We're nailing
We're on fire.
I still can't believe the guy that invented the Segway, not linked to the Segway or the Segwoo, but he actually he died on a Segway, interestingly enough.
I thought that was an urban myth. Perhaps.
Hang on, our producers are telling us that apparently it was the guy that bought the Segway company that did it. But someone did take a Segway
There was an ironic twist
off of a mountain.
Right, all right. So there it is. We are going to have round number 30. So we'll add some more gravitas to this. Let's get into it, shall we?
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Round 30. Let's get into it. We have got Apex wildly spraying down towards middle. It's ZywOo to open things up. And that's from the connector, looking to take us to overtime here. After a controversial moment, a disconnect from RPK, they gave up their lead, but they can still fight back for it here. And ZywOo willing to do just that. That's 2 kills from him, 5 on 3.
Can you smell it?
Oh, I can.
Smell overtime already. ZywOo already finding 2 and now repositioning into the A site. The bomb's on its way towards A, and IP have lost all of that ground. RPK's taking a knock. Wow, just walks in. A leisurely stroll out of Palace could very well book them for overtime. Just Twist and Lekro. Vitality seem to have overcome and managed to maintain the mental fortitude of losing RPK and a pistol force buy from their opponent in the process. They've bounced straight back and now just 2 frags away from taking us to OT. The wallbang does come in, tags him up, and looks like Twist We'll keep fighting just a moment longer.
Yeah, just a formality at this stage. There'll be absolutely no chance he can pull this one off. 4 versus 1. They have the bomb as well, and there it is, down towards shore. Vitality have done enough. They'll remain on the CT side. 16K, MR3, first to 19, 18-18. We do it all over again. We are going to have NIP with a terrorist choice now, and maybe a breath of fresh air. We'll see whether they can actually step up and change things up somewhat. And will they remain on the double AWP setup considering the 10K situation? Apparently not.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but Shox has found so much impact with that weapon.
This is one of the times you'd be like, you might as well stick on it, mate.
Yeah, so this is going to be curious. They might be expecting a change up from NIP as well, something potentially more execute heavy, like they won that pistol round by with the unfortunate timeout on RPK. But here we just see the standard mid-smokes coming on through. Back a cap, Molotov towards connector, flashes to follow, making them feign the default scenario. Zywoo with the second flash, thinks better of it. Lekro spam should keep them busy for a while, but they're setting up for an A pounce.
Zywoo thinking for cover. One drops straight behind. Nork didn't think to check it, but neither did Masuta. A second descends and a double kill on the entry. Zywoo just swinging wide and actually nearly taking a pot shot through the smoke.
Whoa. Oh, 3-on-3 now. The bomb will go down, and Zywoo, he isn't slowing down. Shox tries to puncture the smoke here, and he will be removed by Plopsky. It's absolute pandemonium here, and Zywoo, it looks like he can still win this one. The wallbang tantalizingly closed. That one even better. Rez locked out in the 1 versus 1, and Zywoo will have no utility. Makes his way towards the bomb now. Can he find anything on the floor here? Going for the full defuse. It might be enough. His presence alone, it would have been enough. But Rez making that sound cue. He'll be swinging in and timed it perfectly. It will be NIP with the first round, but very similar to that B bomb zone. We saw all 10 players there before. Everyone was ready for the A play towards the end of it. Back and forth we go, down to the 1 versus 1. And Plopsky with some very influential practice.
Yeah, let's check this out again. He actually got 4 in this round, and I want to just make sure I can see how that happened. He actually got caught in the end by Zywoo. We don't get to see those final 2 frags. It was Shox and RPK caught by Plopsky, just playing around that smoke. We saw Shox's POV of it. So that's 16 now in the bag for NIP. Let's see if they can string together 2.
Well, the double AWPs are back out. Clearly, Shox thinks they need it, but this will be his last chance. And if they lose this one, there'll be no AWPs. And Zywoo, he's missed a shot already.
Look how much space they've taken already. Smokes are starting to bloom. Zywoo does not make the same mistake twice. Masuta trades, and we keep it level, 3v3.
These executions are providing a lot of fun here. Very scrappy Counter-Strike and damage being thrown across the map here. Apex will find Twist, and they'll take the man advantage. Great grenade lands in the pocket of Nork. 56 HP, and he'll be stuck towards the corner of the bomb site now. Isolated. Needs his teammate to get him out of this problem, and it's going to be Plopsky in the connector right now. They know exactly when Nork is positioned. They'll flash out, and he'll just have to knife out and jump across. He actually gets completely flashed himself. How is he still alive? Another grenade lands. Molotov could be pretty decent, though. All 3 CTs are there. They still have vision, but he gets out.
I can't believe Nork's still alive. That is ridiculous. There's still 60 seconds in this round. Plopsky's got a plan.
He could actually go B. If he jumped window, went up towards short, which he just has done. This is huge. This is actually remarkable. They've actually fought their way out of this problematic scenario. They might even have the advantage
rotation now.
Exactly.
Oh, and he can tuck in. Shox his knife out. No one's gone towards middle. Perhaps a second sound cue to come. One kitchen, which is perfectly being held by Plopsky, and now RPK's gone. And as they turn, Plopsky strikes for another. This is gorgeous Counter-Strike.
Well, Shox now can't believe that's just happened. He's in a 2 versus 1. They had all the advantages going for them there, but they were too focused.
Here we go. Hang on.
He can still defuse this, though. Going for it. Touches the bomb, and they're taking the bait, and he has pulled it off. Shoxy with another clutch here. Needs to find the bomb, which he will, and it's well played there. They assumed he was touching with the smoke down. It was enough.
What a calamity. They worked so hard. The youngsters, the 2 newest additions to NIP, the new boys, they did everything right. They pulled themselves out of a hole, and then this. Shox, a simple bait, knife out, nades in hand, 2 quick kills, away she goes, and Vitality, 16 on the board in overtime now. That was so good from NIP. They're going to be kicking themselves.
Oh, what a way to lose it. After doing the hard work, the heavy lifting, you get a little too overexcited. You hear the sound cue. You don't want to be spraying into a smoke and watching that spinning CT as he diffuses. You understand the perspective, but it is going to be a heart-wrenching loss. A 2 versus 4 with a low HP player, and you get into the 1v2.
Yeah, a real gut punch for NIP. Remember, they don't have the coach to rely on and fall back onto. Maybe he would have spotted that. Zywoo, though, with another fantastic shot, gets his 30th frag of this Mirage expedition. They are going to be going towards B, though. Nork He seems to be well aware of RPK's presence, but it doesn't matter. The M4 comes out on top. They have to commit towards short now, and it was looking great for a 2-0. They might actually go down 2-1 here. 5-on-3.
Necro. Options minimal. Shox is the one that's going to look for the info, and yeah, very precise. That's his 28th. He's definitely had his cornflakes this morning.
Or his sandwich.
Or his 3 sandwiches.
That doesn't sound healthy. I wanted to say, I was like, you might want to get a more varied diet, perhaps.
You know, I thought that, and then I lived with someone who lived in the Netherlands, and they just eat bread all the time. Every breakfast, gotta have bread.
I guess it's a versatile meal in itself. You can put different things inside there. It just seems like the sandwich, I don't know, it's more of a snack for me. I don't
like
know.
Ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup sandwiches. That's the whole thing in itself.
Chad's ketchup sandwich propaganda needs to stop now.
They're definitely not great for you.
I'm not forcing the sandwich on you guys. If you want to eat the ketchup sandwich, you can eat the ketchup sandwich. If you want to watch the Road to Rio, you can watch the Road to Rio. You know, life's very simple.
It is. And Vitality are certainly feeling comfortable in this simple landscape. They are up 2-1, and they managed to pull back an amazing round here in overtime. Shoxy winning out in the 2 versus 1 and then delivering in multiple rounds here. He's looked fantastic. This is the best looking Shox I've seen this year.
Yeah.
This is a very good showing from him.
And the fact that ZywOo is also contributing in such a fashion, 31 kills to his name, having the 2 of them going absolutely bonkers right now is the key to Vitality staying in this game and now taking the lead. It hasn't been anybody slumping. Nobody has a massive omission. And that can be said for both teams. Lekro on 16, RPK on 15. They still had their moments.
Rez needs a moment now after their slip-ups in the first of this overtime, and he gets caught just as he started to reposition. And Masuta, what an impact he's had in this round. It could be over, especially with Shox onto Nork. Now the A site's all guarded by 1 man, and they can hear his scope.
Lekro will have to hit a few shots here, and he's got the first. I dare say he's got the second as well. Masuta, though, nice play. What a big round from this young man here. 3 in total in overtime. He knows exactly where Plopsky is as well. The flashbang delivered. Doesn't necessarily catch him. Looking for his 4th, and he converts it. Lovely stuff there from Masuta. Great sequence from him. Finds a map point here on their pick. They've got 2 to do it. Close things out, and NIP need a perfect game to take us to double overtime. So 2-0 required from them. Here's Masuta. Best sequence of his Mirage game so far, I would say. See if he can keep this one up. But 4 kills in a big round. No one really had to think about anything there. It's all Masuta.
Haven't seen him take control of a round like that yet. It's a new look for him, and with 27 frags behind it, it's certainly a combination and a mix that does seem conducive to victory. 18, 1 away from taking their map pick here. The French squad do lose the first casualty. Masuta will not be having the same impact this time. And oh, ZywOo, he's very fast, but Rez does have the advantage. Looking to dunk him with the nade. He's retreating, and Rez will go down. Apex scarpering away with a knife and 15 HP remaining.
Still advantage for NIP considering the health of Apex and ZywOo here, and they're starting to reposition back towards A. So it looks like a set piece to close out this round. Will this be the one where they find success? Close this chapter on Mirage here. We'll move on to Overpass. It's the pick of NIP, but they can still win this one. They can still bring round just 2. An agonizing round here from Vitality. The flashbang towards middle. Still not clear where they're going to finish up. The bomb's outside the A ramp, but ZywOo looking to try and bait them into a B push here. Seeing if anyone does take the bait. It's very quiet for now. Flashbang, actually a smoke deployed deep.
Well, he made a step as well, so maybe that was heard. But if you want to send 1 man for a fake that nobody would expect, it would be ZywOo. You send your star player into a bomb site to see what he can do. Of course, you're going to expect there to be more teammates behind that. Oh, that's a well-timed smoke. 25 seconds left. They're going to have to push through it.
Lekro's trying to play as ratty as he can. He wants him to run into him as an obstacle, and it works so well. He actually only caught 1, and it was through the smoke onto Apex. So much hang time for Twist. He hasn't got the shot yet. He was so blind, and now Nork's been hunted. ZywOo just opening up the sight as if he's got a rifle. The last 2 in a lot of trouble, especially now Plopsky's been left all alone. ZywOo, hang on, they line up. If he had a nade, it could have been the end of Shox, but he retreats to CT.
He does have a nade now.
Oh, and it could be perfect. Has he done the calculations? He does, dunks him, and spots the last, but RPK secures it. Vitality will take their map pick. The tank, he secures the final and necessary round. Close all the way, and it gets me excited for Overpass.